We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. In other words, our battle may look different, but it's just as real. You see, just like enemies try to take David's kingdom from him, the enemy of our souls is trying to take what God has given us. He's after your spiritual kingdom, your walk with God. He's after your peace, your joy, your family, your blessings. And ultimately, he wants to take your destiny. He wants to rob you of what God has placed in your hands. But here's the difference. David could see his enemies face to face. He knew when Saul was chasing him. He could see when armies were surrounding him. But us, the battle is invisible. We don't see the demons, the spiritual forces, the traps of the enemy, but they are real. And that's what makes it even more dangerous, because when you can't see it, you might forget that it's happening. That's why Paul tells us to put on the whole armor of God, because the only way to stand against this kind of enemy is the same way David stood against his enemies, by leaning fully on God. David said, "You armed me with strength for the battle." We need that same strength today. Let me make it plain. If David would have let his guard down, if he would have gotten careless, if he would have fought in his own strength, his kingdom could have been ripped away from him. And the same is true for us. If we let our guard down spiritually, if we stop praying, if we stop watching, if we start relying on our own selves instead of God, the enemy will take advantage and try to rob us of everything God has given us. But here's the good news. The same God who gave David strength for his battle is the same God who gives us strength for ours. David never lost a battle when he leaned on the Lord, and you won't either, as long as you keep your eyes on Jesus, as long as you stay armed with prayer, with the Word of God, with faith, and with the Spirit. So I'm here to tell you today, yes, the battle is real, but so is the victory. Yes, the enemy is strong, but your God is stronger. David's throne was protected because God was with him, and your life, your home, your family, your calling will be protected too if you keep leaning on the Lord. Don't ever forget that you are in a battle, but you're not fighting for victory, you're fighting from victory. Jesus already won at the cross. He already stripped the enemy of his power. All you've got to do is stay on guard, stay armed, and stay close to Jesus. So stand strong, because the kingdom God gave you is worth fighting for. So